What's up, everyone? It's Judge Daily Perales today. Judge Daily Perales. And I don't like admitting when I'm wrong when it comes to boxing, because I study boxing in very small details. So today's that day where for once I got something wrong. And we're talking about Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. I scored the fight at the time, watching it live, 7 rounds to 5 in Lomachenko's favor. Today, I watched the fight back and I gave Devin Haney the win. So Judge Daly scored it 116 to 113 to Devin Haney. Now, there's a lot of factors that come into play of why the first time I gave it to Lomachenko. And this is why if you're into boxing, always watch it again. The factors are, so when you're watching it live, there's a lot of things that can sway your decision or manipulate your mind. The first one was the commentators. And the reason why I'm saying the commentators is because Lomachenko, he's a very fast combination puncher. Blistering speed when he puts them together, and he puts them together well. So when you're watching it live and you got Lomachenko with that burst of speed and that combinations, and then you've got the commentators going, oh my God, Lomachenko. You know what I mean? That's entering your brain while you're watching it live. Number two, a lot of the fans, let's be honest, were on Lomachenko's side and cheering for Lomachenko. So every time Lomachenko throw those combinations with that burst of speed that catches the eye, the crowd are going crazy. So again, that's entering your mind. And then you've got the punches themselves. So if you're a boxing person like me, when Lomachenko's throwing those combinations with blistering speed, you're like, wow, amazing. This is beautiful. But when you just take all that away and you break down the actual fight like I did tonight, and then you'll understand why Devin Haney won. So I'm going to try to break it down the best I can. Lomachenko started slow again. At first, I didn't think he started slow because of those little moments he had where he'd counter or the combination punching. But it reminded me, after watching it again, a bit like Teofimo Lopez. He started a bit too late, which means Devin Haney was, building up the points in the first half of the fight. Lomachenko, although he was throwing nice combinations, although he was landing counters, throwing that straight left down the middle out of nowhere with blistering speed, it wasn't consistent. If you watch it over 12 rounds, it wasn't consistent. If you watch it in detail over 12 rounds, watch how many times he does that. He doesn't do it that much. But then, as I said, when you watch it live, when he does do it, it catches the eye. So subconsciously, you think, oh yeah, he won that round. But if you look at Devin Haney and his work, it was consistent over 12 rounds. Now, he might not have looked flashy like Lomachenko, or that blistering speed of, with the combinations like Lomachenko. But his work was simple and effective. And sometimes simplicity is perfection. He stuck to a game plan. Obviously, they studied Lomachenko very well, and they worked in camp to put together a strategy that will beat Lomachenko. And he done that. He done that by showing more authority in there, holding the center of the ring. Yeah, Lomachenko did push Devin Haney back sometimes. Of course, it's going to happen in a fight. But as I said, that was only when Lomachenko was trying to press in moments and then catch, people's eye with those combinations. But if you see, Devin Haney stayed calm in those moments too, and then got back to his simplicity, his simple, effective boxing, which is holding the center of the ring, using his jab, even little things. It's not what you do when you punch all the time, it's what you do when you don't punch. And he was active, using that lead hand, using those feints, level changing, stepping round, moving off. And then the big one for me was the body punching. Placing body shots to perfection, especially the right uppercut or right hook to the body. If you watch Lomachenko, very good defense, but very good defense with his head, not his body, because he holds his hands high. But he's got quick footwork, so he gets away with it with a lot of the fighters he fights, because he can go in and out with his footwork, because he's got fast footwork, and he teases with that footwork. If you see him, he'll go in, out, and try and stay there to catch you. So be there, not be there, that kind of motion where he's just out of range but still in range to catch you with those blistering shots or those counters, or moving off on the angle, which Lomachenko likes to do. As I said, he likes to hold his hands high and tease side to side. But when he does that, because he's so high with that guard, it leaves space there. And fair play to Haney and his team. They put a game plan together where they're going to hold their feet in certain moments just so they can land and capitalize on that space Lomachenko has and throw those heavy body shots. And they were hurtful body shots as well. And he was consistent with it from round 1 to round 12. Another thing, what Devin Haney was doing well is, if you see a lot of Lomachenko fights, because of those angles he does, because of that head side to side head movement, because of the footwork, he will come offline and try to get round the side of you or round the back of you so he can throw shots off of an angle. And what you find with a lot of opponents is they hold their feet too long, or they're not anticipating what Lomachenko is doing. They're not anticipating that Lomachenko will look to move offline and move around you to throw those shots. So because they're not anticipating it, by the time Lomachenko gets around the side, they're stuck in the mud and can't move their feet. So they're getting hit left, right, and center, and they're blind to the shots. They can't see them. What Devin Haney done was obviously work his ass off in the gym to stop Lomachenko coming off of the angles majority of the time. Devin Haney is a high level boxer, very high IQ. Did he have to switch it up from being the normal Devin Haney? Yes, he did. By standing there and holding his ground and showing I'm the bigger guy. You ain't gonna be able to move around me the way you do. But he done it in an intelligent way. So when Lomachenko was trying to move off, Devin Haney would step around with him. And this is where the anticipation comes into play. As I said, Devin Haney's got a high level of boxing IQ. So he's not just gonna wait for Lomachenko to move off in the angle. He knows he's gonna do that. And this is what I always say to my fighters. Don't stand there thinking they're not gonna do anything. It's like when I tell my fighters, you're in a fight, someone's gonna punch you in your face. So why are you gonna stand right there and not even think that they are gonna punch you in your face? You've got to have that in your brain for every single round, that you can get hit at any time and any moment. So by having that in your head, that you can get hit at any time, at any moment, then it allows you to stay 1-2 steps ahead of your opponent, or anticipate everything that's coming your way. So that's why I liked Devin Haney. He anticipated and he knew that Lomachenko can hit him at any time, anywhere, especially off those angles that Lomachenko likes to do. So he would move with Lomachenko. So when Lomachenko would do that, Devin Haney would do that. And guess what? He's still facing Lomachenko. Instead of Lomachenko doing that, oh, it's too late. Bang, 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 bang. He's catching him off the blind side because he hasn't moved his feet or anticipated what he's gonna do. Okay? So just because Devin Haney's holding his ground, he still can move his feet and hold his ground and still be able to do what he wants to do, which is land those heavy body shots. The other thing that I like that Devin Haney done was when Lomachenko would throw a jab or throw the straight left, or even if he didn't throw those punches, but he done the actions as if he was gonna do those punches, Devin Haney would drop the shoulder, stay low, and pivot around. Doing that, one, it stops Lomachenko from, again, getting around the back of him and getting those shots off on the angle. Two, it keeps Devin Haney defensively safe by dropping his shoulder, staying in that shell, staying low, and getting around and getting back to what he knows best, which is dictating the fight. This is the reason why I've gave it to Devin Haney, because he was consistent and he had a game plan in place to be able to deal with what Lomachenko was doing. You know, Lomachenko was still trying to be Lomachenko, whereas Devin Haney adapted and come away from being the Devin Haney that we normally see. And that to me shows maturity. That to me shows a high level of boxing IQ. And that tells me that they worked very hard in training camp on working on the game plan to shut all that down and be the boss in there. So I think out of the first 7 rounds, I think I gave Lomachenko only 1 round. It was only, I think, from round 8 that Lomachenko started picking it up, and I started to give a lot of rounds to Lomachenko. And then there was one in there between round 8 to 12 that I gave it level. And then I gave Devin Haney the last round because they both weren't hardly doing anything, but Devin Haney was showing that, listen, I'm the undisputed champ. You're gonna have to take these belts from me. And he didn't really allow Lomachenko to get any shots off in the last round. So for me, it was a masterful display. I admit when I'm wrong. I thought Lomachenko won at the time when it was live, but he lost. Devin Haney won 116 to 113 to Devin Haney, still the undisputed champ. Congratulations.